What's the Hoopla, Yeousch Alliance? My name is Hoopla, and today we're going to dive into the world of Journey. Journey is a PS3 exclusive game developed by that game company. And right out of college, that game company got a 3-game deal with Sony. The first game was called Flow, their second game was called Flower, and as you guessed it, the third game is now called Journey. Journey is a game with a very simple concept: to reach the top of this mountain. The game starts with you waking up alone in the middle of a desert, and off in the distance you see this mountain. But who better to talk to about this game than someone that worked on it? The man that composed the music you listen to right now, Austin Wintory. Austin, how would you describe this journey?
That's very difficult. I think I would say that it's very personal, and I tend to kind of leave it at that because I don't like to try to, since I worked on it, I think the assumption would be that whatever I say it must mean or it must be about would be somehow authoritative or definitive, and so I don't want to try to lead people to thinking certain things or coming to certain conclusions. So, so in other words, yeah, that's the way I would describe it. It's a very personal experience that people will make out of whatever they want, and that's our ideal response.
And I think you hit it right on the head. Journey is not one of these games that can be described in 1 or 2 words. After playing through Journey 3 or 4 times, you experience a different emotion through each playthrough. That's just something the game company strives for in their video games. The executive producer, Robin, talks about this time when she was in Bhutan and she was hiking the mountains over there. She started having epiphanies. I understand when you play video games, you just want to have fun. You want to put your thoughts and worries of your life aside. But this game will make you face them head on. Make you start thinking in a new way. Think about the people that have impacted your life and the people you have impacted with your own life. But this game would not be successful without the music. Austin, man, your music just echoed this video game. Great job, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, that's awesome to hear. That's totally dead on. That not only would it mean something to you at all, which we're very grateful over, but that it would mean something different on subsequent playthroughs. I always hoped that it would be that way because then, like if you read user reviews on Metacritic or whatever, the only thing that people seem to complain about is that they think it's too short. And I always felt like, well, it's not really short because playing it again, especially with different people, will kind of produce different emotional experiences for you. So it actually has quite a bit of replay value.
And that was my only complaint about this game. But as you said, this game has a lot of replay value. After playing through my first journey, I realized I missed a lot of hidden details in this world, so I want to start another journey. If you guys are unfamiliar with this game, the person that's thrown into your world, you're not allowed to choose who they are. There's no identification marks. You don't know if the person is right down the street from you or on the other side of the world. That was done on purpose. That game company wanted this game to be universally accepted around the world, and Western cultures as well as Eastern cultures. There's no language barrier in this game. The only form of communication you have in this game is by chirping.
Yeah, and I have to say the most touching responses or reviews or whatever from people that I've come across were when people said that they played it a couple of times and they felt like a student, and then they started to really feel like they kind of knew the world, and then they would meet someone who came across like they were a student, and so the person was very excited to kind of become the teacher, and that they really relished sort of shifting roles to from being helped to helping somebody else, and I thought that was so awesome. I couldn't believe people were just sort of doing that on their own intuitively. That was just so touching and heartwarming.
Now, how did you get into writing video game scores? I read somewhere that Genova contacted you about helping him with his thesis at USC. Is that where you started getting into video game scores, or did you already have your foot in the door?
I mean, I was keeping my eyes open for it already because I was a gamer and because I was a composer, and combining those two is a very natural instinct And I did one or two little tiny student projects before I did Flow with Genova, and one of those projects was what led to me meeting Genova, and that's what led to us obviously doing his thesis, which was Flow.
Now congratulations on all the awards and recognitions you guys received from doing Flow. I can only imagine how many more awards and recognitions you guys received from doing Journey. If you guys did not know, the Journey soundtrack just hit the iTunes chart on April 10th. It's already #1 in 8 different countries, Japan to name one. Now, is this what you thought your life was going to be like? Was this the dream you dreamt of, sitting in your college dorm room?
In the general sense, yes. I always, for the longest time, wanted to, dedicate my whole life to writing music and exploring all the little nooks and crannies of what that even means. Writing music for films is one wonderful area, and there's this whole culture of filmmakers and film festivals and all that's wonderful. And then games is a kind of a totally separate beast, and also just so wonderful, and a whole other culture of game developers, and I just love that. And then there's the world of concert music, where you write symphonies and operas and concertos, and that's a whole other culture and a whole other kind of musical ideas to explore. And that was always my dream, and I feel extraordinarily lucky that I'm actually doing those things all day, every day. But with regard to Journey in particular, when Genova first told me about it, it seemed like my dream. It seemed like he was describing my dream project of any kind. I mean, it was a game that dealt with life in such a kind of beautifully sort of metaphorical way that was subtle and understated, and it was like it really appealed to me in every way imaginable. And then as we got into it and actually worked on it, and then eventually finished it, it was like at every stage I just sort of loved it more, and as to the point that now it's been out for a week, and I look at it and I'm like, I can't believe that I worked on this. Like, is that even real? Because it's like I couldn't have dreamt up something that I would rather have worked on, and I just so beyond lucky. And so yeah, I mean, and the response to Journey has been quite beyond anything that I could have dreamt. I mean, not just to the score, that's been wonderful, but just people responding to the game on its own terms has been just unreal to me. Just such an incredible response. So that's been the thing that I really couldn't have predicted. Is that I thought people would like it because I was proud of it, but people are putting things on YouTube that are like, this game changed the way I think about life, and they put these things like that where I thought, I don't even know that that's what we were trying to do. That's like so beyond what we would have hoped for.
Now I know you're really busy. Do you still have time to play video games?
Yeah, I know. That's the funny thing is like I hate falling behind on games and films both. I try to keep on top of them because I love going to the movies. I love playing games, and I just love seeing what my colleagues and people like that are doing. And the last game that I really logged a ton of time with was L.A. Noire, which is already now like 6 months ago or whatever. I did enjoy that a lot though, and I liked their score. These guys in Britain, Simon Hale, or I can't remember their first name, but I think it's two brothers, if I remember correctly. That it's a very LA Confidential, Chinatown type score, and they did a beautiful job producing it at Abbey, or I can't remember if it was at Abbey Road, but London sessions. It sounds wonderful. But yeah, that's the most. I mean, like I was a diehard fan of Mass Effect 1 and 2, but I have intentionally not bought 3 because I've been so busy that I knew that I would like immediately fail to meet all my deadlines because I couldn't stop playing it. Because that's exactly what happened on the first two. I remember when I bought the first one, I literally just didn't go to my office for a week, and I was like, nope, I'm just going to finish it, and it's going to ultimately save me more time to just commit now to finishing it.
Thank you again, Austin, for taking some time out of your busy day to sit down and talk with us. I really do appreciate it. Journey is a game that I highly recommend. It's acceptable for all ages, and for only $15 it is a must. I really encourage you guys to start your own journey. If you'd like more information about what Austin is doing, swing over by his website, austinwintory.com. The best way to follow him is actually through Twitter. That's how we met. He responds to every single tweet. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Hope all is well. More videos are coming very soon.
Yeousch!